Several theories exist as to the PWD's origins. One traces the breed's beginnings back to 200 BC and centers on the Iberian Peninsula, which is located in the extreme southwestern corner of Europe and is today divided into 4 countries: Gibraltar, Andorra, Spain, and Portugal. The peninsula endured many invasions by external forces. The invaders included the Romans, the Visigoths, and the Moors, each of whom brought their own special working dogs. The Romans had their Canis Leo, or lion dog. The Visigoths had their Canis Pescator, or fishing dog, and the Moors had their great water dog. Over hundreds of years, these dogs interbred and eventually started to breed true to a particular type. This type, a sturdy, long-haired, willing water worker, was identified by the Portuguese fishermen as being a valuable asset to their work, and the dogs became known as the fisherman's dog. Over the course of time, they became the Portuguese water dog. Another theory places the PWD's beginnings back even further, to 700 BCE, near the border between Russia and China. Here the relatively isolated people raised dogs to herd cattle, sheep, camels, or horses. The dogs developed into a clear type that looked much like today's PWD. Nomadic Berber warriors were said to have captured some of these dogs, who then traveled with their new masters across Asia to North Africa. Their descendants, the Moors, then brought the dogs to Iberia in the 8th century. Still another theory posits that the Asian dogs traveled with another nomadic tribe, the Goths, who came from what is now Germany. One offshoot of that tribe, the Ostrogoths, headed west. Their hunting dogs became known as the poodle, which is a name derived from the German word Pudel, or puddle, indicating the breed's water orientation. Another offshoot, the Visigoths, headed south, fought the Romans, and then made their way to the Iberian Peninsula, where the dogs eventually became today's PWD. In any case, once the dogs reached Iberia, they became adept at all kinds of tasks related to fishing and water work. They herded fish into nets, retrieved broken nets or lost tackle, and acted as aquatic couriers from boat to shore or between boats. Fast forward to 1934, when a wealthy Portuguese shipping magnate named Vasco Bensaúde became enchanted with the breed after seeing 2 PWDs at a dog show in Lisbon. With the goal in mind of preserving the breed, he started an extensive search for more dogs and fortunately found a few working on the fishing boats in the Algarve region of Portugal. He was able to acquire a male and female during that first search. On a subsequent trip, Bensaúde discovered another female and a magnificent male who worked daily on the boats. He desperately wanted this male, and after much negotiating with the fisherman owner, he acquired Leão, the dog who became the foundation for Bensaúde's Algarviorum kennel and the ideal model for the breed standard. Bensaúde bred PWDs for nearly 30 years, but rarely sold any of the dogs he bred. Instead, he gave them to friends and associates. He died in 1957, and a year later his widow gave the 14 remaining dogs in the kennel to a trusted friend. At about that time, Mr. and Mrs. Arthur Harrington of Rensselaer, New York, received a pair of PWDs from England in exchange for a pair of Affenpinchers. The Harringtons bred the pair, and a litter resulted, but the strain eventually died out. However, American interest in the breed resurged 10 years later when Herb and Deanne Miller of New Canaan, Connecticut, imported a female from a Portuguese woman who'd inherited Bensaúde's kennels. A year later, the Millers imported a male. Their first litter, born on June 17, 1971, at the Millers' home in Nantucket, was the first litter of PWDs of Portuguese breeding stock in the USA. On August 13, 1972, the Millers hosted a gathering of 16 people to establish the Portuguese Water Dog Club of America. In 1984, the breed became eligible for full AKC registration in the working group. In 2022, Portuguese water dogs ranked 46th most popular out of 199 breeds. Today, the United States has more PWDs than any other country. Today's PWD is a rugged, robust dog equipped with webbed feet and a non-shedding waterproof coat. He is strong enough and mentally tough enough to do a full day's work in and out of the water. A Portuguese water dog is spirited, exceptionally intelligent, powerful, and a bundle of predetermined energy. The PWD is a versatile breed. Enthusiasts find creative ways to maintain the breed's working heritage. PWDs participate in agility, obedience, tracking, scent work, rally, and any other performance activity that is available. Of course, PWDs are most at home performing in water work. As a member of the USS PWDC, you are part of the rich PWD heritage. You have many friends and a great deal of support with your PWD. To learn more, please check out the club's Facebook page or website at www.usspwdc.org.